What is going on, y'all? It is your girl iyaKIN back here with a new YouTube video. Hey. I'm doing something a little different tonight, okay? I'm recording in the evening. I got my lights, I got my camera going, I got my notes on my phone. Usually I have my little spot there on my blue couch. If you've been a subscriber for a while, you know when I'm doing my talks, I have my spot. If you're new here, hold on, don't click out of this video yet. I guarantee it's gonna be worth your while. And I'm doing a different area and a different time, because I am not only trying to decolonize my yoga practice, I am trying to decolonize my fucking life. If you are new here, what is going on? My name is iyaKIN. I am the yoga educator behind Yoga by Biala, as well as the founder of the non-performative yoga platform called Iya, which means mother in Yoruba, which is my native language in Nigeria. You may also recognize me from being the creator of the hip hop yoga practice Trap Vinyasa, now called Trap Flow, as well as the creator of the Divine Feminine Yoga Workshop. You might have recognized me also on Aloe Moves, where I have been a coach. So I've basically been in the yoga game for a long time. One of the things that I am really focusing on right now, or rather that I've been focusing on and exploring for the last probably 3 years of my yoga practice, is really focusing on decolonizing it, in addition to decolonizing my life from over-efforting, overachieving, perfectionism. It just like go. A bitch is tired. And I've learned that that is just not required. It's also not required in our yoga practice. And with that, I created a term and a practice called non-performative yoga. Now, within that are 6 elements that I'm going to be sharing with you today on how you can begin to decolonize your yoga practice. So, enough of me ranting. Let's get into these elements and how they are going to help you decolonize your yoga practice, so that you can take some time to slow down and use the practice for what it was actually meant for. Let's get into it, right? Okay. So the first element and the first way that you can begin to decolonize your yoga practice, to explore education beyond asana. Asana is the Sanskrit term for the poses, the physical poses that you see different bodies performing all over Instagram, all over social media, that Western yoga basically commodifies the practice through. Get education beyond that. There is more to yoga than just those damn poses. The practice is really powerful because it allows us to explore embodiment in our physical form through these physical postures. However, we don't stop there. And if we do find ourselves stopping only at the physical poses, then our practice becomes aesthetic based, which is performative within itself. So exploring education beyond asana is one of the ways that we can really begin to decolonize our practice. The second way that you can begin to decolonize your yoga practice, which is also the second element within non-performative yoga. Wait 1 second. I just realized that I did not break down what non-performative yoga is. My apologies. I'm gonna put the definition somewhere down here or somewhere up here. Non-performative yoga is ultimately the practice beyond Western fitness culture. It's the practice of yoga beyond the poses. Okay, let's get back to the elements. Element number 2, which is also a second way that you can decolonize your yoga practice, is to invite self-inquiry or self-study. I use this constantly when I'm teaching my students about non-performative yoga. And self-inquiry or self-study is the exploration of your mind and your body, understanding what's happening beyond the physical body, because everything that's reflected externally first happens internally. You cannot change your external reality without studying what's happening within your internal reality. That is the entire point of yoga. Yoga means to yoke or unite, union of mind and body. And the invisible agent that's doing that is the breath, which is an extension of the soul body. So when we get on our mats and we practice these physical postures, we are doing so to begin to study the mind, body, by joining it with the breath so that we can see what's happening. What cyclical patterns of suffering do I keep repeating that are causing me to get a dissatisfied result in my external life? Let me study them so that I can begin to change them in my own body and have the ability to heal myself. Don't be going with the flow. Be the flow, like Jay-Z be saying, okay? Element number 3, and also a way to decolonize your yoga practice. This is really important for people who are already yoga instructors, and that is to institute non-hierarchical language. You want to remove hierarchical language from your teaching that creates levels. The human ego, which is most of the time a little bit more on the immature side, wants to protect us from embarrassment. It wants to protect us from looking like we got egg on our face. And so if we're in a yoga class and the instructor is utilizing hierarchical language that creates levels, your ego is going to want to help you so you don't look like you're behind. So you're going to go for that advanced pose, or you're going to go for that level 3 class when you're just maybe starting out. So if that's the language being used, then our human psychology is naturally going to go for what seems to be the highest level of achievement. And that's how people get injured in yoga classes. It's also why people hate yoga classes. They don't feel held, they don't feel nurtured, they don't feel supported, they feel pushed. So removing hierarchical language from your teaching and also your personal practice is going to cultivate more space for you to decolonize your yoga practice and have more agency when you're practicing. So when you're feeling overwhelmed or tired, instead of pushing beyond your pain zone, you're going to use language that's non-hierarchical and give yourself permission to abide in your growth zone. We don't need to keep learning through pain. That is a colonial mindset. Instead of teaching levels to my students within my yoga teacher training, I teach students to utilize language that creates options that are not vertical, top down, but that are rather horizontal, that don't have any levels associated with them. So it's easier for them to choose the best option for them without feeling bad about it. Excuse me, y'all. I just had the most amazing pho in Seattle, and I'm still a little full. The 4th way to decolonize your yoga practice, y'all, and also the 4th element of non-performative yoga, is adaptability. Use those damn props. Damn, my foot's falling asleep. Shit. Oof. Normalize adaptability through the use of props. Use bolsters. If you don't got a bolster, use a pillow. Use some blocks. If you don't got blocks, use some books. Use meditation cushions. Use blankets. Use all the freaking props. Use walls. When I'm teaching adaptability, I'm breaking down poses with so many damn props. It's ridiculous. I'm using walls, I'm using chairs, I'm using all these damn things, not to make the practice easy, because yoga is never easy. Yoga is always going to challenge you because it's meant to buffet against your aversions, to buffet against the aspects of yourself that are cyclical habits that are causing you suffering that you don't really see, to help you alchemize those things to deal with the things that we don't want to deal with. So it's going to buffet against some things. Props don't necessarily make things easy, but it's offering adaptability for you so you can be in the practice in your growth zone, as opposed to always having to practice in your pain zone because that support is not available, because you don't have a block to offer extension on the arm or support underneath the hip, or to add more depth in your side body body ribs in a certain posture. Normalize adaptability of the practice through the use of props, especially to support your body as well as different bodies if you are currently a yoga instructor. Element number 5, this is a pretty obvious way that we need to decolonize our yoga practice, and that's through some motherfucking representation. I love, sharing and hearing from a lot of my iyaKIN graduates and reading their applications, because there's such a diverse group of individuals, and that is so essential to the decolonization of this practice, because yoga is a practice that is really a tool of embodiment and integration within the physical and the invisible body. It has absolutely nothing to do with all of the human shit we deal with in this third dimension. It has nothing to do with one's socioeconomic standing, with one's race, with one's body size. All this stuff that we've added to it because the human experience in America is so fucking colonized. That representation is essential to inviting different bodies into the practice. It's essential that there be representation so that different bodies can be invited into the practice so they can experience the benefits of this deep integration that has nothing to do with all of those things that we impress on the human body and psyche based on the based on colonialism rooted in American culture. That took a long time to say. Sometimes I get really tired of talking about race when it comes to yoga, but it's essential. Number 6, way that you can decolonize your yoga practice. And I might change this one because it's quite hard to articulate unless, they're taking a training with me. But I call it embodied learning. I mean by that, there's such a shallowness rooted in Western fitness culture. And because Western fitness culture has co-opted yoga and commercialized it, it's kind of imbued the practice with this shallowness where there's no embodied learning in any of the teachings that you get from most instructors. I can't understand when I'm taking a class from certain teachers, what has this practice revealed to you? What has this practice helped you undo in your life? It's always so physical. If you're going to share the practice with other people as a student or a teacher, sharing from a place of embodied learning, sharing from a place where you're able to share what the practice has revealed to you and put that into action in your life. You have a situation or a circumstance that happens and you respond by utilizing and embodying one of the 8 limbs, or you're embodying one of the sutras. You're embodying this knowledge because of what it's been able to reveal to you in your own body, and it's been able to create a new neural response as a result. The 7th element and way that we can decolonize our yoga practice is by removing overachievement on the mat. Remove the need for perfection. Remove the need of over-efforting. Now, this is taking me years to nail down because I am someone who's extremely disciplined. That was never a problem for me. Also someone who is extremely ambitious, but is also getting extremely tired because of feeling like I need to stay in a rat race. And it's seeped into my yoga practice quite a bit. This is why I preach non-performative yoga and non-performative living ad nauseum. Because it's not required to lead a life of fulfillment and satisfaction. Removing the need to learn through pain over and over and over and over again, and beginning to learn in our growth zones, discerning what it means to learn in our growth zones, in a space that feels brave and courageous, as opposed to like, ouch, that hurts, I'm pushing. The most pivotal thing I've learned over the last year is that pain is not required. I don't have to learn that way. I can learn through love. I can learn through kindness. I can learn through joy. Basically, I was at my 30-minute mark and the camera stopped, but we back. But what I was saying, to wrap everything up before I was so rudely interrupted, is that I can learn through higher frequencies, higher expressions. I don't have to learn through pain, through shame, guilt, old ways of learning. And I feel like the entire collective consciousness is shifting from that bullshit. That age of grinding to win, I don't know if that's what it's about. I think it's about being. It's about embodiment. So I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. And if you are a yoga student and or a service provider or space holder looking to inform your practice with non-performative yoga, I have a quiz that I created. The link for it is in the description box. It is a quiz to see if you're ready to become a non-performative yoga instructor, which does not mean that you need to teach. Maybe you want to take our non-performative 200-hour yoga teacher training just to inform your own personal practice, or because you're a space holder and you're looking for a practice to hold better space for you, because I find that as space holders, it can be hard for us to find practices and people to hold space for us at the level of which we hold space for other people, especially if you're an empath or a highly sensitive individual or person. So I created that quiz to help you see if you're ready for our program ultimately, or if you're ready to take a program that really embodies the values that you're looking for in your yoga practice. And if that's you, that quiz is there. I look forward to seeing y'all next week. You're probably going to see me on Papa's on chair. I'm really doing things differently, y'all. You know, a bitch is just trying to be, I'm just trying to embody. I'm not even trying. I'm embodying, okay? I'm not be the bestest person, yoga person. I just can't anymore. I can't, and I don't. I want to get fat in embodiment of being myself. And if you're not following Iya on the gram or Yoga by Biala, make sure you do so, because I am announcing an exciting giveaway. Well, by the time I release this video, I've already announced the giveaway. But make sure that you are following me at iya.well, my non-performative yoga platform, or you're following me on my IG at Yoga by Biala. Y'all continue to be well and continue to rest in your realness, boo. That's all I got. That's all I got. All right, y'all. Double deuces. Have a good one. Ooh. Oh, the light went out. That's perfect timing. Perfect timing. All right. Oof. Gotta stretch these hips out.